John MacArthur, I think I heard you say recently in a conversation that you are more concerned about the prosperity gospel than you've ever been before, that you see it increasingly as an increasing problem. Do you want to talk about that for a moment?
I think it's a far greater threat than the intellectual issues of modernism and postmodernism, because most people don't live in those categories. I think it is the single greatest lie being propagated by so-called Christians today, in the sense that it overpowers all other lies. You can promise people they'll feel better. That's going to get them so far. But you promise them they'll get rich, and that'll trump feeling better every time, because you can feel better once you're rich. All the therapies go away, you know. So I think it is. I think it's a satanic doctrine. I gave a message recently on that at the Ligonier conference on the West Coast. What you were saying, Al, your best life now. That's only true if you're going to hell. Otherwise, this is not your best life now. And I think the deceptiveness of that preys on the weak and the weary and the broken and the sad and the poor and the desperate, and promises them something God will never deliver, and Jesus will never deliver. And it's a Ponzi scheme. The guys at the top get rich, and everybody else is left in rags, shredded everywhere in the name of Jesus Christ. So I think that is the most marketable commodity of all of the trajectories that you were talking about today. The therapeutic one is always there, but I think we've been through and out the other side of the psychology thing. And I think the people who try to make their ministry some kind of pulpit therapy have probably already changed their approach to that, and maybe they've gone off and opted out for the marketing thing. But I think the poor you'll always have with you, Jesus said. The desperate are always going to be there. And if you prey on those people, you're going to always have a wide and desperate audience. You know, one of the things that struck me, and I talked to you about this some time ago, was when Jesus saw the widow putting 2 mites in the temple in the last week of his life, and he watched that happen. A woman gave 2 mites. That's all she had, Jesus said. Now we look at that and we say, isn't that a great act of giving? No, that was not a great act of giving. Jesus doesn't want a widow to give her last 2 cents, go home and die. That's not a biblical principle. And if it's a principle of giving, then we all give everything we've got and go home and die. That's not the point. He followed that up, watching that woman do that, with these words, not one stone shall be left upon another. This entire temple is coming down. Any religious system that takes the last 2 pennies out of a widow woman is coming down. And I think that was the final straw to pronounce judgment on that temple, on that system.